to gather together to do our own healing work. And as we do that, we do a healing meditation, followed by some card readings. And if you'd like a card, here is the card deck for the day. This is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot deck. And this, I think her name is Raven, Phelan. And I'm sorry if I'm messing up her name. But it is a very cool deck. I got it last week. We just started working with it for the first time. So it's been a very interesting thing. It seems very precise about our soul's journey and where we're going. And the channeled messages have been fantastic. So that's where we're at. So here we are as part of Star Nation's radio network. And we've been having a few technical difficulties. So hopefully everything's all worked out. We'll find out soon because, things have been interesting. And I'm going to keep an eye on my phone in case Neshi needs to send me any more messages because, yeah, we had a few little glitches earlier. So here we are gathering together. If you feel like there's any interesting, my team's like talking two different things, so hold on one second. If you know anybody who could maybe use some healing today, could use some extra TLC. Today is a difficult day for a number of empaths. The anniversary of 9/11 sort of sits in our energy field. We all can go through sort of energetic whiplash as we come back into that energy, and we may get hit with waves of the sensations of energy or emotions that we felt at the time, or the times that we saw things or experienced things. The way my team was sort of explaining it to me this morning is we were all traumatized. Especially in this country, because we saw the footage repeatedly, which created a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear that took a long time to dissipate, and for some people it hasn't. So today is a really powerful day for healing on all sorts of levels, but especially for any grieving of people that we've lost, and even people who you may have known that were connected to this event or who experienced something related to it. So it's one of those days where that energy can come back and sort of run into us. So it would be a great thing for us to do this clearing this evening. I have a feeling it's going to take on a slightly different flavor because we may all have that trauma to release together. So as we're doing that, just sort of know that I'm going to be clearing for the group, which often involves some noises because I can feel a lot of pressure of energy that wants to move, energy that wants to clear. So I'm hopeful that that will be as quiet as possible. So that's sort of the first thing. And then the second thing is I wanted to remind people that I'm coming to Star Nation's Academy very shortly, the weekend of October 11th through the 13th. There's still time to register for that. It is an amazing bargain for having intense healing work done in a very small, contained group. And not only do we dive into like what core wounds are causing us the most difficulty right now, but we also help learn how to open and expand some of our gifts, and everybody gets healing. So, how can you miss? And you have the beautiful Neshi and I, Neshi holds space for me and helps me with the healing and the clearing and keeping a sacred container. which is such a beautiful thing. So if that's something you're interested in, I encourage you to join us. If Wisconsin is a little far from you and you're over here on the East Coast, I'm also through the school, through Trinity School of Mystical Energy Healing. We are doing what we call an empowerment weekend in Agunquit, Maine, which is the weekend before, which is the 4th through the 6th. It has a very similar format, except the days are longer, and there are more options for additional healing. So we have some movement classes that are first thing in the morning that people can participate in if they want to get up and get moving and get the energy stirring. Plus we'll be right by the ocean, which has its own extra healing energy. So if you're interested in that, you can go to my website for the school, which is trinitymysticalenergy.com. So with all the spiels done, why don't we get the meditation started? So let's take a couple of really deep breaths. And with each breath, I really encourage you and invite you to breathe and expand your energy.
Good.
And invite your energy to ground to the best of your ability. So imagine your connection to the earth, opening, expanding, deepening, and lengthening, allowing you to feel anchored, grounded, held, and supported.
Good. Good.
Really allow that connection to go deep within all the layers of the earth, all the way to the molten lava center, so that you are connected to the heartbeat of the earth,
Good.
which holds the beautiful, vibrant energy of creation in its center.
Good. Good. Good.
And we're going to call in the divine energy, however we connect to that, however we perceive that, to surround us and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light.
Good. Good. Good.
And we'll also create a sacred container around the room or the space that you are inhabiting at this moment.
Good.
So that your energy can relax, allowing space for a deeper breath,
Yeah.
peace and serenity to enter, knowing that you are held and supported and guided by your spiritual team and the divine.
Good. Good.
I invite you to call in your spiritual team, your entire team, all of your guides and your teachers, the angels, the ascended masters, the star beings, all divine of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration, frequency in each and every dimension available to us in this moment.
Good. Good.
And we set the intention that this healing meditation and the guided messages afterwards are for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves,
Good.
releasing any energy of interference,
Got it. Got it.
and calling in the highest authentic truth that we are able to receive.
Got it. Got it.
And to begin the clearing, we connect with our crown and our divine connection. And notice how open and round the crown is. And if it feels wobbly or you don't experience the full connection, just notice if there's tingling or pressure or light, heat, cold.
Yeah.
Or do you simply have a knowing that the energy is connecting with you in this moment?
Got it.
And knowing that as we release doubt, our crown chakra will open, being as calm and as centered,
Yeah.
willing to receive fully what is for our highest best.
Got it.
Beginning to bring the energy down into our third eye, into the area near our brain, inviting our brain to come back into balance, in harmony between our creative brain and our logical brain.
Yeah. Got it. Got it.
And opening our connection to our intuition and the ability to experience all five of our senses integrated with our intuition to tap into a higher, fuller knowing as we make our choices and take action in our lives.
Yeah.
Inviting the energy to open so that we can see more clearly.
Got it.
And also be seen more fully by others.
Got it. Got it.
And opening our ears so that we can hear fully the messages, the signals, the nudges from our spiritual team and the divine.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And also to hear others clearly, the meaning behind what they say.
Got it.
As well as being able to listen with our hearts wide open.
Yeah.
And in turn, having that experience for ourselves, being heard fully.
Got it. Got it.
Releasing the tightness in the jaw and the front of the throat in all the ways we control our lives, try to make things happen, resist the divine flow, the divine timing.
Got it. Got it.
And releasing the energy in the back of the neck and all the stress that comes from holding back our self-expression or the ability to speak our emotions, speak our truth, be our true essence.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Good. And then releasing from the top of the shoulders, the top of the neck,
Got it.
all of our responsibilities and burdens that we carry for ourselves and carry for others.
Got it.
Any way we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders.
Got it.
And for just this moment, we're going to release all of the burdens that we've been carrying. Allow them to slide down to the ground where we can pick them back up when this meditation is done, if we so choose.
Got it.
And releasing all the resentment that sometimes we carry attached to these burdens and responsibilities.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Beginning to move down into our heart chakra, connecting to our physical heart and our lungs as well.
Got it.
And here, releasing the weight that sadness and grief may be pushing down or placing pressure on our chest or in the center of our back.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Releasing any stages of grief that are stuck within us, knowing that it is perfect and healthy for us to go through the whole grieving cycle. The anger, the sadness, the denial, the acceptance.
Yeah.
And allowing your heart space for compassion, empathy for yourself. Filling your heart with the unconditional love of the divine.
Got it.
Releasing any blame or shame, disappointment or hurt that you may be carrying here.
Got it. Got it.
And allowing space for gratitude and joy come into your life more fully.
Got it.
To return your heart into alignment with your true being.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And sending healing, especially to our inner child this evening. Who may hold the trauma and sadness of many, many others.
Got it.
Or the shock.
Got it.
And allow your child to be held by the divine, cradled, nurtured, supported.
Got it.
Surrounding the child in safety and love
Got it.
of a higher and fuller vibration.
Got it. Got it.
And moving down into the third chakra and releasing all the fear and anxiety
Got it.
that you may be holding on to. The righteous anger.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And that survival fear that sometimes triggers our fight, flight, or freeze response, giving those beautiful adrenals a chance to recalibrate, reset, reconnect gently in this safe, loving space.
Got it. 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 Got it.
And letting go of any energy that has squeezed your self-confidence, your self-worth, or your self-esteem.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Making room for your divine light to shine brightly and fully.
Got it.
Balancing the fire within.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Inviting harmony within your own system, your own energy.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And moving down into our sacral chakra right below the belly button. And really allowing the emotions to flow the way they are meant to. Fully, completely, without censor.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Allowing the water of relationships to ebb and flow. Balancing the giving and the receiving in all relationships, including with yourself and the divine,
Got it. Got it.
with other people,
Got it.
with animals,
Got it.
and the nature beings,
Got it. Got it.
even with objects that are important in your life,
Got it.
like money or food.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Releasing the energy of inequality that happens in many relationships.
Got it.
It can lead to miscommunication, misunderstanding.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
And opening the manifestation circuit in every frequency, vibration, and dimension. Through the hips, connecting to the root chakra beneath our tailbone. And releasing any energy that is still shaking your foundation. Anything impacting your home, your finances, your safety, your job.
Got it.
Or any ways this day in time uprooted your sense of self, your sense of other people, of humanity.
Got it.
In any ways you created rigid beliefs that have blocked your flexibility and your adaptability.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And allowing all of that old energy that is choosing to break apart, dissolve, and release, to move down fully into the ground, to compost. Allowing the water energy to cleanse and heal. The fire to burn away that which no longer serves. The air to blow away the debris. And the earth to gather together the pieces that are still who we are, creating a new foundation for our energy to flow.
Got it.
And inviting the divine feminine energy from Grandmother Earth to come up through our feet, like we're receiving nutrients flowing up a tree, as we are a tree of life. And as it comes up through, it heals, expands, and balances our energy in each and every chakra, including the external ones,
got it,
bringing harmony and balance to all of our systems, especially our lymphatic system, our blood flow, our airflow, all the way down to the cellular level.
got it, got it,
And as the golden energy moves up through our torso and begins to make its way up into our chest, allowing space for the heart to fill like the holy grail that it is, with the elixir of eternal love and light.
got it,
And the more we are willing to expand our heart, the more we can heal ourselves and others.
got it,
And allowing that energy to pour down our arms and into our hands so that we may share it with others
got it,
and receive it fully. And allowing it to move up the throat and the neck to the base of the skull, through our entire skull and all of our chakras, all the way to the crown and beyond,
got it,
the highest point of our energy system, and allowing it to cascade over us, cleansing, restoring, and repairing our aura in all its layers, in each and every direction, dimension, and time.
got it, got it,
And taking a moment to send healing to the entire planet. And today, holding space for those who got triggered into their own grief or trauma.
got it,
Sending love and support.
got it, got it, got it, got it.
And now just taking a moment of gratitude with your spiritual team for being present, for guiding you on what was needed.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
All right. And allowing the meditation to gently dissolve. Stretching, yawning if you need to, wiggling your fingers or toes, whatever's needed. There was a lot moving tonight. Thank you for being here. So if you would like me to draw a card for you, it's going to be from this deck. It's Raven Phelan, and it's the Dreams of Gaia Tarot deck. It's a brand new deck for me. But the interesting thing about this deck is it seemed, or it felt like the channeled messages were even more succinct for each person because of the deck. So we're going to begin with the readings. If you would like a card, just type in yes, please. I will read the cards until we're complete. So don't worry, I won't leave you out. All right. So we're going to start with Maureen Mann. All right. So you have the King of Fire. So in this particular deck, the King of Fire is, there's a lion underneath. I don't know if you could see that as part of it. Sort of a lion at the throat, but at the heart. So what's being said is that, you have a very gentle feminine presence most of the time. But there are times when we need to call in the masculine to bring ourselves back into harmony, to bring ourselves back into balance. And as women, sometimes we're afraid to activate the male energy because it feels very shadowy. It feels very against who we are. But the masculine energy is taking decisive action and setting really clear, intense boundaries. And so this next stage that you're going through it's calling on you to really channel in the fire energy, and from a very male perspective. So, when we think of women holding fire, there's this strength and this confidence, but there's this gentleness that surrounds them. With the males, it has a more aggressive energy. So, but the king is the king of their domain. There is no question. There is no one to second guess. A queen corresponds with and connects with the king. They rule more as a team. This is saying that you need to step in and become this fierce leader. And it's the way I see it is it's still a very feminine version, but there's just more power behind it. So calling your charismatic leader energy, find where it is living within you and pull that leader out, at least for this section of things that you need to get done, because you are shifting and changing, and you want to stand in the leader as you do that rather than the rule keeper. Because a king who's a rule keeper is a tyrant, but a leader who's in their core is loved, respected, and admired. Nice. All right, Andrew. Of course. So your card is the Seven of Water. I found out what the symbols meant. So the downward pointing one is water. Actually, it's the 8 of water. I don't know why I said 7, but there you have it. Maybe because you're in between. So with the 8 of water, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can get it a little closer. Can you see the chakras are all lit up? Especially the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 6th. The 5th too, but it's smaller, and the crown. So what this is saying is it's time for you to really bring yourself into balance in terms of owning your that you're an emotional being, that the water flows with you, around you, near you. But when we don't allow ourselves to live and be in our feelings, then people sense that shutdown. When you've shut down your feelings to protect yourself, people feel that wall, and they don't know what the wall is, and they make their own assumptions about that. So to stand in your truth and your power, we stand with our heart wide open. We stand with our energy system willing to be hurt, because being open and honest is what we want to receive from someone else. We can't receive an open and honest person when we are cloaked. And notice his cloak is dangling open. It's not all belted and shielded. He's opening himself up. And because of that, the water energy is bringing so much joy to him. So I invite you to see if you can allow your heart some space to open. Maybe practice with some people that you feel safest with, and allow yourself to let down your guard. Otherwise, it's hard to invite new love in, and you deserve new love. All right. Jackie. Okay, so Jackie, this is another 8. This is the 8 of Earth. All right. Can you see she's got her wand, and she's got, it's like a crystal ball that she's holding in her hand. So the 8 of Earth is that energy where you have all that you need. You have your walking stick to support you, which is actually given to you by the divine. So you're walking with the divine. You have this crystal ball that's allowing you to see visions of like what's to come, the bigger picture, where you're headed. So you're having this time where not only are you standing on your path, but you're able to see the next journey, or the next section that you're going to do. So I'm sort of seeing like you're starting to see the next thing you want to create. And the crystal ball energy is just saying that, you know, if you look deeply within yourself, you will find the answers. And because you're supported by the divine, and you're able to look deeply into yourself and into what can be possibly created from this really beautiful grounded space, you can actually do that. You can actually become the master creator of your own life. So give it a try. All right, Anne. All right, so yours is the 4 of Fire. Hello. Look at all that fire. Look at the staff, but notice that the mouth is covered. I want you to be really clear that you can see that the mouth is covered, and that the cloak has got the flaming bird or the phoenix on it, right? Okay, so what I'm getting for you on this is that, you know, you are in this transformational stage. There's a lot of transformational energy that is happening within you. You're creating a lot of change within you, which is also reflected around you. So what I'm hearing for you right now is it's time for you to take aim. It's time for you to decide where you want to go next and how you want to get there. And all you have to do is aim at it, and it will hit the target right on. Because of the rapidity of how fast the transformational energy is flowing for you right now, that it's almost as soon as you think of the next thing, you've hit the target and you're on it. So I'm also seeing that for you, it might be helpful to have a visual. So I would maybe Google a picture of a phoenix, because remember, the phoenix is birthed from the ashes. So in the destruction of an end, this is a new birth, a new beginning, a new space for you. And I feel that, if you call on that Phoenix energy for you to guide you, that fire will activate within you and help, because the fire energy within us gives us the desire to create and push and move forward. So really call in the Phoenix, tap into that, and see how it can guide you on this next step. Nice. All right, Marie, here's another 8 and another fire. So yours is the 8 of fire. And notice how she is the Phoenix now, right? So she's not wearing the Phoenix, but she's become the Phoenix goddess. Her arms are the wings, right? So with this, it's like, how are you soaring to the new heights? How are you using all the change that you've gone through to create a fuller version of Marie? Again, that Phoenix energy is coming through, and it's another one that you can tap into. But for you, what I'm seeing is, being the Phoenix, you have a higher perspective than you used to have. So before, you were caught in the trenches with everyone else, and now in this energy, you're able to step back and bear witness to what others are going through without taking it on as your own. And from that place, you can be more in service, because you can help others who are in their struggle. They can't see it. They can't understand how to move to the next level. They're very stuck. And so you can be the guiding light for them. Because can you imagine, the Phoenix flying over and creating this trail that others can follow, like the North Star? That's what's being called for you. So there you go. Enjoy that. My goodness, a lot of fire Phoenix energy tonight. Love it. Emily. Aw. I love this one. So this is the Child. This is one of the soul cards. So this is saying what your soul is on right now for the soul's journey. And the Child is a beautiful place to begin the next part of your journey, because the Child holds complete love energy. And she also holds wonderment and excitement and joy. And the Child energy is when we create things with a lot of magic. So right now, your soul is in this energy of a new beginning, but you're doing it from the wide eye perspective of the Child. That doesn't mean you're gullible. It doesn't mean that you're innocent. It's that you're looking at things with fresh eyes, and you can see so many of the possibilities inside of things and around things. And so, allow yourself to tap into your inner child. Really check in on your inner child daily, and make sure that your child feels safe enough to be in your heart all the time, because then it's the child and the heart energy that are guiding you together. And nothing is more powerful than being guided with unconditional love. All right. Christine. All right, yours is a soul card as well. Great to see you. Glad to have you here. So your soul card is the Crone. And the Crone is this great energy. The Crone gets a bad rap. Some people think, they equate crones with like witches or whatever. And witches in a negative sense, not in a positive sense. But the Crone energy is really, it's a stage of womanhood. We go through the stage of being a maiden. Then we go through the stage of being a mother, even if we're not an actual mother. We, mother our pet animals, or we mother our our friends or our family. And then there's this transition that we go through where we become the crone. And the crone is actually the wise woman that everyone goes to, who seeks her counsel, and who has the knowledge to guide others. And she trusts her intuition. She's very connected with the divine and the divine feminine in particular, with Mother Nature. She's very grounded and rooted in who she is. So this stage that you're going through now in your life, and so this is not just like your weekly reading, it's what your soul is doing or being right this minute. And what it is doing is it's teaching you how to hold that wise woman, and all this self-assured energy that goes with that. And the way that we hold ourselves and are perceived by others. There is so much respect for the tribal elders because they have journeyed more and they know more and their wisdom is sought. So how can you approach your life as this sage, wise woman, and honor that you are in this part of your life's journey? Because once we hit that, we don't go back. So often this happens for women when, if we've had children, when our children become adults, it's time for us to stop doing, not that we ever stop being a mother, we don't, but the hovering mother, it's time for us to release that and allow our child to step into maidenhood. And when we do that, they can journey to us and ask us things when they need it. But it also means it happens in all of your other relationships as well. Nice. I love that. All right, Kimberly. Oh, I hope your holiday was nice. It looked beautiful. All those, Italy looks beautiful. So your card is another one of the soul cards. Well, guess we're on a soul roll right now. So yours is the father energy. So this is a little different than the crone, right? So the father energy is similar to the mother energy, right? But fathers have different approaches, right? So again, it's calling on you to, as part of your soul's work right now, how do you hold the masculine energy in a balanced way? Because a father these days is nurturing and a caretaker, and they are seen with respect. And we hold this energy differently than a mother. A mother often is, sort of a caretaker, but she's not always the provider. Even though that's not true, like sort of energy in the reality of things. But when we hold the father energy, we become the provider. We become the head of the household. We become seen as a very assured leader. So taken seriously by others, especially other men. Where we have that authority that others respect, without having to go into our shadow. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it, I believe, is to be able to hold that masculine energy, especially around other men. I keep hearing that. So that they honor and respect you, your abilities, and your authority. All right. So Carol. This one is interesting. So this is the Two of Air. So the Two of Air, you can see the light and the dark. And it's kind of hard to see fully the face. But it's really that they're both sides of ourselves. And on the white side, there are the wings of the divine angel, right? So this card is about being in balance, being in harmony, being comfortable with the fact that you are in the light and in the shadow, and not that you're being shadowy. It's that when we stand in between both, we actually really understand who we are. We are the yin yang. We are not one or the other. And when we pretend that we don't have light, or we pretend that we don't have shadow, we are away from our true self. So as you sort of gather your energy together, especially this week, pay attention to how balanced you are between your masculine and your feminine energy, between your sense of being in your light and honoring that you may have shadowy thoughts. You just don't have to take action on them. And balancing the physical and spiritual aspects of your day, of your life, and of who you are. Because when we can walk that inner line, then we actually shine even brighter than if we seesawed over to the light. We actually wouldn't be as bright. I don't know if that makes sense. It's when we walk in between. Think of the moon, right? The moon is there whether it is dark or it is light, and it still holds its essence. It doesn't change who it is depending on how much light is shining on it. It holds its true potential no matter what. All right. Kimberly. Of course. So yours is the 5 of water. Those 5s are a little tricky because they're kind of a place where we're on the teeter-totter, and water has to do with emotion. So this is showing that you're caught in this place of a lot of emotions right now, and you may be having a little hard time understanding that that the emotions are okay. What you're feeling is valid, and that the true balance comes within you when you realize you are one with the water, when you're one with your emotions. But until then, the waves of emotion can feel overwhelming. So try to focus on the fact that the emotions aren't creating a victim for you, that they're not attacking you or making you weak. They're actually opening up your vulnerability and your strength, regardless of what anyone else says around you. So when other people bully you about your emotions, it's because they are fearful of expressing their own. So allow yourself space to release that bully energy. Feeling, some men around you who kind of chastise you for not for feeling too much. But remember, whenever we hear that word "too," it's because the other person is uncomfortable with what you are stirring within them. All right, hold those emotions, sweetie. All right, Brandy. Nice to have you here. So yours is the 8 of air. And see the wings, and there's a sword that goes up and a sword that goes down. Okay? So what I'm hearing for you around this is that for you to be in that place, to be in the breath, to be in the air energy, to be sort of one with who you are, there are times when you I'm trying to think of a nicer phrase than what wants to come through. All right, so I'm just going to give it to you the way they're giving it to me. So what happens is sometimes you allow yourself to become wounded by others. That which often means we're taking things personally. and that the more we wield the sword with others, the more we get the sword wielded at us. So it's inviting you to find your way back into harmony inside of you. Often this is when we get caught in reacting. People poke our buttons and try to spur a reaction from us, and we can only hold it so long, and then we snap and we react. That pulls us out of the light and the breath. And my team talks about when you can't breathe fully, you're far away from who you are. So think about when somebody has a panic attack, it's because they've lost their connection to their self. And so when other people get us super angry, when we want to react to them, they're taking our breath away, our life force energy. And not that they're doing it to us, but we're allowing it to occur. So when we're in a balanced place, we can keep ourselves protected, even if people are wounding us, but not have to go into the wounding with them. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, Minnie. Of course. So you have the King of Water. Look at all these women getting kings. But notice at the top of the crown, that's the goddess symbol, often used for Isis, the phases of the moon. Okay, so with the King of Water, again, the water is about our emotions. Isn't this interesting how many people are hearing the same message? You get to be the one in charge of your emotions. You are the ruler of your emotional body. Don't allow anyone else to sway you. A king is in command. And regardless of what anyone says, the king is in command. So it is your turn to be fully in charge of your emotional body, and being okay with whatever flows. Again, a reminder that sharing and feeling your emotions is not a sign of weakness. When we are willing to be vulnerable as a leader, we actually show and express the innermost strength that we have, because then the compassion can flow through. We're not in a reactive state, we're in our central being. So allow yourself to be that person and to honor and allow the emotions to flow however they want to. It's not a sign of weakness. I'm going to say that again. It's not a sign of weakness. All right, Christine. Okay, so yours is the 10 of water. So you can see that she's in the water, and there's a heart that's on the top. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's pretty hard to see with this camera. I apologize. But again, there's the symbol of the goddess. She's holding it like a yo-yo almost. So the 10 of water is saying that, you are swimming within your emotional body. But for you, there's a comfort there. And usually that also means that you're very empathic. All you water chicks and guys, you're very empathic. So being okay with the fact that you receive information through your emotions, being really comfortable with that part of yourself, and honoring that you have that gift. And so in this space, especially this week, you're going to have some moments where you're really going to be tested to go with the flow, be in your intuition, close out the voices of your inner critic, and those who want to create doubt from their own fear. And just lean in and allow your emotions and your intuition to guide you, because that will help propel you through this next segment of energy that is coming up. I feel it in the next couple of days. So ride the wave and allow it to move you and move through you. All right, Joanne, you have the 4 of water. I don't know if you can see, there's a couple, he's holding like a scepter, and there's faces on the scepter, but he's got the collar of the Egyptians as well. So with the 4 of water, this is basically saying, you know, are you looking to others for guidance? Are you allowing others to replace your own intuition? So when we're looking to the faces on the scepter, we're looking up to others. We're trusting others over our own intuitive sense. And it causes us, I don't know if you noticed, he had one blind eye. It causes us to be blind to all of the energy and all of the information when we don't trust within ourselves, our gut instincts. So as you are going through this week and you want to question, it's okay to ask for guidance from others, but pay attention to whether it corresponds to what you are feeling or not. And you do not need somebody else to validate your intuition. That is your intuition, your guidance system. It has nothing to do with anybody but you. So this is about trusting you, trusting your spiritual team, and knowing that you really are connected, and letting go of the need for other people to tell you what to do, because you got this. All right, my dear. Martina, of course. So Martina, yours is the 6 of fire. This one is very interesting to me because the man on the throne, he's got the hand of that is it's a signifier of the Pope, as well as holding what looks like a Holy Grail. But notice that the swords are crossed between the black and the white, and that the people have the white and the black and the black and the white as well. But notice they're not completely in black or completely in white. They're both harmonious. So with the 6 of fire, what I'm feeling for you is that to really call in your desire, to call in the energy of creation, you need to bring, here we go again, you need to bring your body and your energy system into balance. Because when we are a little bit shadowy with the fire energy, it can turn into frustration and anger and resentment and judgment. So when we hold it, it turns into desire and creation. And it also activates our self-esteem and our self-worth. So if we're not in balance between the shadow and the light around that, we start to collapse who we are. And so you're being invited to bring yourself into harmony. And I'm seeing the, hold on. I've seen this for a bunch of you today, but it's really important for Martina. So this is the Shiva Lingam stone. And the Shiva Lingam brings the harmony into the 2 sides of our body, the masculine, the feminine, the spiritual, the logic brain, all of those things. So if you're feeling off kilter, this is a great stone to carry with you or to place on your heart. I know people who put it in one of those, wire wrap it. and wear it as a necklace right over their high heart, because that will help restore your energy into that central place, into to balance. For all of you who have been getting that message, that stone would be fantastic for you. But Martina, big time, it's a stone that would help you a lot. All right, Rob. Nice. So you have one of the soul cards, and this is 16, which is destiny. And no, they do not really correlate to the tarot deck, because this actually has 25 soul cards rather than 22. So the destiny card is that right now your soul is getting called into where you are meant to be. You know, destiny is calling, destiny is awaiting. What you have created for yourself prior, you know, part of your soul's contract is coming up for you to step into. So as you are navigating the next couple of months, really feel your way through. Feel what is pulling you back home within yourself. And one of the things I'm seeing is that, you know, you have some different spiritual teachers that were all meant to get you to a certain stage. And you are stepping onto this new energy, and you feel pulled to do some deeper work. And so where that deeper work lies is part of your destiny. And, you know, sometimes the deeper work is you got to clear the junk out of your trunk to be able to have a lighter load to move forward. So, wow, they're intense tonight. So what I'm seeing is that money is your slave owner. It's a terrible way to phrase that. That's what they keep showing me. It's like money is cracking the whip. Money is controlling you and all of your decisions. That is not the reality of the divine. So you can shift that. You can change that. You can call money into your being in brand new ways, and it doesn't have to rule you, command you, control you. There's also a lesser God energy that is worshipped, and that has to do with substances, alcohol in particular, which you have been not listening to that God, but that God is still very loud in your ear. So finding a way to realign with your destiny, to release these old energies of worship and step fully into who you are. And I hope that makes sense. So look for the divine within you. Look for the pull of the spiritual teacher that is meant to guide you through this next leg of your journey. And don't let money be the obstacle to that. All right, Cindy Lynn. Yours is the 7 of water. All right. Notice her eyes are closed and she's just feeling her way through. That's where you are being called to be. Sometimes we get blinded by what we see. So to turn inwards, to listen fully to ourselves, to listen to our team, sometimes we need to close our eyes and release the distraction and feel what wants to be. So, there's a beautiful teacher that I've worked with that, she asks where does this situation live in you? How does it live in you? And you feel where it is in your body and what reactions you're having in your physical self. You know, are some of your muscles tightening? Is your breathing more shallow? And it's a way to test your internal pendulum, to determine a deeper knowing of your intuition. You are, when your eyes are closed, like in a meditative state, you are really connected, and learning how to hold that within your body while you navigate your surroundings and your environment. That's the key. All right. Okay. Lynn. All right, yours is the 1 of air. And the 1 of air is the white dragon. And the ones are all gifts from the divine. So the breath of the divine is being gifted to you. And the breath of the divine is that inner peace from that inner knowing. And it is really in sync with the white dragon energy. And so in that place, it calms and it cools, rather than being a dragon of fire and fierceness and all this action. The dragon of air is light and breathy and holds a lot of heart space for those around to come to a deeper understanding. So this week, you're really going to be called into a place of divine knowing. Again, trusting those intuitive hits, trusting your gut instincts, not dismissing, spontaneous moments of awareness, because those are all being gifted to you. And the more you breathe into that, the more you accept that, the fuller your connection will be, and the more quickly divine inspiration will flow to you and through you. It's a beautiful place of being calmly centered in knowing, and allowing no room for doubt to kind of wiggle its way in. All right? Okay, Jacqueline. All right, your card is the 12 of water, which is the counselor in this one. So notice there's wings coming from the cheeks. Again, the goddess at the crown, because this is the Gaia deck, Dreams of Gaia deck. Okay, so in this place, it's calling on your energies for you to use your intuition, your inner knowing, your inner guidance to assist others. So rather than being like a king or a queen, the counselor in this particular one is the wise one that people turn to, who offers guidance, direction, and uses the energy of experience to help share and guide and facilitate a higher level of healing, a higher level of knowing. And right now, with that huge amount of water energy that flows through the counselor, it's emotional healing, it's trauma healing, it's allowing people to move forward and not be stuck in these places that have held them for a long time. And you being in a heart space of holding space while those around you need to shift and grow and release things that aren't working for them anymore. Because there's always times when we're the one going through things, going through the fire, and there's other times when we're the one who's holding space and being of service to those who need us around us. So thank you for your role in that this week, because you're going to be called on quite a few times. All right. Joanne. So yours is 13. It's the Queen of Earth. And again, here's some Queen energy. See how different she is? So the Queen of Earth is really when we are fully connected to nature. We're fully connected to our connection to Gaia and how we are part of her. And when we are that grounded Queen of Earth, we are able to not only hold our own energy, but we're able to help those around us. And the Earth energy is about creating a stable foundation for others, providing them with things that will relax their energy into a place of safety so that they are not stressed about there not being enough. And not only do you have enough, but you have enough to share. And it doesn't have to be financial, but it can be your energy, your time, your wisdom, whatever that is. But sitting in that nurturing queen role and very connected and grounded. I keep hearing grounded, and they're dragging it out. Grounded in the intense Gaia energy that you can connect to. So I got a really strong sensation that you know, Mother Earth or Gaia is a very strong part of who you are. So call that in anytime you feel shaky, so that you can hold yourself steady and feel like the queen that you are. All right. Aline. All right, so your card is 11. It's the Heaven and Earth card. So the Heaven and Earth card is really about how do we bring both aspects into our life. We have our earthly plane and what's going on here, and we have our connection to spirit and what's going on here. And lots of times those worlds are kept separate. So how can you create a yin-yang energy between what's going on in your spirituality and with what's happening in your physical realm? How do you bring your spirituality into your home, into your job, into your life? How do you bring your life into your spirituality? Because the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. So when we pretend that what's happening in our physical life has nothing to do with our spirituality, we're sort of missing the lesson that our physical life is bringing to us. So when we can hold our sense of self as a divine spirit or connected through or to the divine, then we're offering a different level of who we are to our situations and our surroundings. And what I'm hearing is that, you know, the drama that gets created around you, especially by family, when you can bring your spiritual self into that place, you won't get sucked into the drama, and you'll be able to help transition that into a place of healing, not only for yourself, but for your family. Okay? All right, Jen. Of course there's time. So here is the 6 of air. It's another one of the cards that there's the balance in the light and the dark. Keep seeing this for everyone. It's interesting. So in the 6 of air, your balancing of the physical and the spiritual, bringing harmony within yourself, has more to do with your heart. And sometimes we're really hard on ourselves. We are so kind and compassionate and forgiving of others, but we shame and blame and hold guilt so deeply. And when that happens, our heart has like these two sides of, here's my heart on the giving, but I'm not as fully open to the receiving. We want it, we crave it, but because we don't treat ourselves as beautifully as we treat other people, we bring our heart energy out of balance. So practice taking some really deep breaths with, as you breathe in really deeply, you breathe in the divine. And as you blow out any obstacles there is to self-love. And what a great practice for all of us to breathe in the divine deeply and breathe out all obstacles to our self-love. And just practice that and see if you can make space for more compassion, more healing, more harmony to be restored to your heart. Because this is a time where it's really important for us to understand the balance of giving and receiving. And if we are unable to hold the possibility that there is no blame, there is no guilt, there is no shame, then it's hard for us not to project that toward others. All right. Phew. All right, Brenda. All right, you want a card concerning the sale of your mother's house. Okay, so it's interesting. So the card that came up is the 23 card. It's called Integrity. It's part of the soul journey, which makes sense because your mom's house has, if it sells or when it sells, it will create a new chapter of the whole family. The whole family will step into a new chapter. So what's being said here is that it's really important for you to stay in your integrity, or anybody who's connected to the sale. That includes the realtors or the bank or the mortgage, all of that. When we are not fully aligned with our truth, it comes back to bite us on the fanny. So make sure that everything about the house is disclosed. And that, if it's haunted, let them know it's haunted. If you think it would be a good idea to repair some of the plumbing, well, then let that be known. Because when we aren't in our integrity, and sometimes integrity can be, are we asking a fair asking price? And when we are out of alignment with our integrity, then no energy flows. So then houses won't sell. So this is part of the soul's lesson that everybody connected to the sale needs to be in their integrity. That way you call in somebody in their integrity as a buyer. And so when you don't, you call in people who, maybe can't really afford the house, or it's a stretch, and then they get denied their mortgage loan. And there's some energy around the house. I don't know if you're an energy worker or not, but there's some energy around the house that really could use some clearing to help lighten it and brighten it, and that will help it sell faster. So there are a number of people who are really good at, doing that house clearing, cutting the cords with anybody who has a connection, so the house feels loved and ready and willing to accept new owners. So that's just something you might want to do as well, because it will help it sell fully and quickly and at a better asking price. All right, Deborah. Of course you can have a card. So yours is the Queen of Air. I love this white owl. There's just so much knowledge. And I love how her crown chakra, it has the butterfly in it of transformation. It's just amazing. So the Queen of Air is, again, the wise woman. She has all the intuitive knowledge. She connects deeply with her magical and her spiritual being, and she trusts that. She allows that inner knowing to guide her. And when my team says inner knowing versus intuition, the inner knowing lands in the back of your skull. It's through one of your soul chakras, where the intuition comes in to the third eye. So the intuition is here. It can be received through the third chakra or through the heart, but it's all translated in here. The inner knowing is in the back of the skull. It's when the brilliant divine download comes in and it smacks you in the back of the head and you're like, aha. That's the energy for you this week. Those rapid aha moments of clarity and wisdom. Do not second guess that energy coming in. Otherwise, you close that connection down. Every time this brilliance comes through, that spark, that light, have gratitude and say thank you, and write it down quickly so you don't forget. Because there's sort of a rapid fire energy of information that wants to come in, but it's only going to come in with your comfort level is what I'm hearing. So by saying thank you and writing it down and acknowledging it, you're making space for even more guidance to show up more quickly. Wow. Ride that out. That doesn't happen very often. All right, Lisa, I think, is our next one. And so, Lisa, your card is the Six of Earth. Now, I'd like to point out, sweetie, that he's wearing like that oak thing on that they put on oxen around their neck. They carry the burden, and there's those chains. He's even got the shackle on the one hand, and he's got a bowl of fruit, and he's got a scythe as well to sort of cut his way out. So in this space, the energy for you this week is that you've been carrying the burdens for others, and finally, it's going to reap its rewards. You're going to be able to break free of all of this responsibility, all this weight that you've been carrying on your shoulders. And the fruits of your labors are actually going to get repaid. So do your best to stay in positivity as things are happening and releasing, because remember, the burdens are trying to disintegrate so that you no longer are carrying all this weight. And when we feel our load getting lightened, again, be in a place of gratitude, and don't worry about that responsibility falling away. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you or that you're not seen. It's to make room for you to move forward in a brand new way. So this releasing may feel rough around the edges, but the reality is it's so that you can have something even better and even more amazing, is what I'm hearing, to come forward. And you're getting the fruits. So there's a reward that's coming for all of this that you've been doing. So good luck with that. It's coming. Positive is coming. All right, Donna, of course. Your card is the 10 of Fire. Look at those chakras. and look at the energy on either side with the crown. Okay, it's very similar to the Ankh in the Egyptian energy. And notice the flames, the wings of flames. It's very much like the Caduceus energy. So what this is saying is that, you know, your energy this week is going to be really balanced, and balanced in all areas and all aspects of your life. You're really going to be centered in who you are. The divine feminine, the divine masculine are going to be flowing through you beautifully, and everything will feel in sync. When we do that, we can really take flight in who we are meant to be and how we are meant to be. And this is for about a week and a half. So it's like 7 to 10 days where this energy is going to be perfectly in sync. And, you know, just you're going to flow through things. So really focus your attention on using this time of flow, using this time of centeredness to really accelerate who you are, where you want to be, and how you want to get there. Really narrow your focus and your intention so that you can create this brand new reality for you, because you're going to be in a beautiful energy for that to happen. And it's a small window of time where you're going to stay completely balanced. It's not that you can't, but it's this, you'll be sort of in the sweet spot. So ride it out. But I feel that it will shift a little before we hit the fall equinox. So sort of ride out this next energy and feel as balanced and centered as you can. And meditate if you need to get yourself back into sync, because you've got a lot of energy you get to use really rapidly soon. Okay? All right, Carrie, of course. Here is another one of the ones. So this one is the water dragon. Okay, and the water dragon, again, it's that spiritual connection to the divine. And when we have this place of pure water energy flowing through us, cleansing us, restoring us, purifying, bathing us, we are allowed to shed all that is old. So this is as close as we get energetically to feeling that connection to the Holy Grail within us. We feel that spirituality. We feel the purification process. And instead of going through, you know, this next week in like struggle and strife, it's like everything is going to flow and fall into place. And don't allow doubt to creep in, because when we're like, can you believe it? Or I can't believe this is happening. Boom, we shut our flow down like instantly. So as things are just sort of flowing together, again, just say thank you every time. Say thank you for every green light. Say thank you for every coincidence, because then the water will keep flowing. It will stretch many more days if you do that. The minute we second guess it, the minute we doubt, the minute we're incredulous, then we start to we close the amount of water that can flow down and flow through our energy system. So think of that water dragon. You can even call on the water dragon to flow with you and through you. Ask them to walk with you as your spirit animal this week, and help keep you in the flow. All right. Renee, the birthday girl. Not today, but recently. So yours is the 4 of Earth. And this is quite a dude here. So I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of hard. He's got this bleeding spot on his arm, right? And he's holding up the picture with the beetle on it. So with the Four of Earth, there is this energy of sometimes we hold on to things too tightly. So be mindful of what are you holding on to? Are you holding on, because this is the energy of hoarding. Whether we're holding on to money just in case, or we're holding on to clothes that don't fit us, or we're holding on to things from our past that really don't serve us anymore. Be careful that you're not holding on to anything that you no longer need, or that is becoming an obstacle for you in moving forward. And it's so easy for us to, have our rainy day fund or whatever. And then new money can't flow in because we're afraid that money won't be there. So, and I'm hearing it's not just money, it's something deeper than that. So you're really good at the introspection. So really look at what maybe are you holding on to? Are you holding on to some toxic relationships? Are you holding on to the past? Some trauma from the past that's just holding you back because you keep bringing it forward. You keep bringing it up, or you haven't allowed yourself to let it go and heal and have it become just words on a page in your old chapter. So there you go. And I'll see you soon. All right, Brianne, of course. So yours is the body and mind, which is the 11 of air. So the 11s in this deck are about what needs balance for you. And for you, it's your body and your mind. And so when the body and mind card comes, when I see this card, what I see is that sometimes we get spinning in our thoughts. And when our mind takes over, yes, logic is very important. But sometimes we get spinning in the what ifs and the could be's and the possibilities, and we get frozen in inaction because the mind is spinning. It impacts our health. It impacts our sleep. And it really can play a number on our self-esteem. It's almost like the inner critic is like so loud in your ear that you're having trouble hearing your higher truth and your higher being. So calming that inner critic down, creating some space between the spinning brain, because otherwise it starts to, like I said, it starts to impact your physical health. And that can start out with lack of sleep. It can turn into headaches. It can turn into neck aches, back aches. It can turn into tightness in your stomach. It can cause constipation. All sorts of things can happen when the mind is spinning and taking up all this creative energy. It pulls it out of your body, pulls it out of your tissues, and all of those things where the energy's been sucked out, they become frozen and grasped really tightly. So feeling really tight around the stomach, like it's just got a really tight grasp on you. So I really am feeling for you to kind of quiet that. You can use things like, I love lavender tea, to, even if I don't drink it, if I inhale it before I go to bed, it starts to calm that down. And people find melatonin or valerian root, they're all very calming. Sometimes calming to the extent of putting you to sleep. That's why a lot of people do it before bed. But whatever brings you that peaceful energy, I would invite you to use that to help you quiet the spinning and the chatter that your inner critic has been having with you. All right. Crystal. So yours is one of the soul cards, and yours is 22, which is the intuition card. And so in the intuition card, this is part of your soul's path right now, is to really hold on to your and I've been saying this all night in various forms. You are really meant to stand in your intuitive being. And this soul's lesson right now is, how do you live your life in your intuition, guided by your intuition, releasing the chatter of the inner critic, and really guiding your life from a heart-centered place. And the more you're able to do that consistently, the more rapidly you go through this section of your soul's journey. But when you are in a place where you are asking for others' opinions, you're doubting your own voice, you're second guessing yourself, then this lesson is going to drag on for a while. And use different things to help you with your intuition. So, you can use a pendulum, to test, your intuitive hits. You can use cards. You can tap into crystals. Whatever helps center you and give you affirmation without necessarily seeking it from an outside source. Yeah, really trust that. And the more you open to that and be that, the more guidance you'll actually receive. All right. Ellen, of course. So yours is the 6 of water. So I don't know if you can see, she's holding like a little bracelet with a heart on it. So the 6 of water is, it's like the water goddess is offering you a present, and a reminder of the beauty in being a water being, an emotional being, an empathic being, and how it's connected to so fully to your heart. And it's hard sometimes to allow all of that energy to flow through our heart, all of the sadness, all of the grief, all of the hurt, but all of the love and all of the joy and all of the compassion. They're the yin yang. You can't, if you close down grief, you close down joy. And so the gift that she's giving, that it's a bracelet with a heart on it, I literally see that. I don't know if you have a heart bracelet, but I would strongly encourage you to get one, because it would be a constant reminder for you to tap into your heart. I actually have one of the Alex and Ani. I don't have it on today, but you can see how there's these ones like this. I have the Alex and Ani bracelet that is for the heart chakra. So when I wear that, it's reminding me to keep my heart open no matter what's going on, because that's where my true self and my true guidance can come through. And it's where I fully hold the divine feminine and masculine together within me. We become that holy trinity, and you can have that too. All right, Margaret. So you are the 9 of water. Look at all this water. So see the divine from above, the divine masculine spotlighting, shining on her in all of the dark water. So even though you feel things to the depths of your being, you're very connected to the divine masculine. You're really connected to the energy as above. So what I'm feeling for you is that when you face this week, there may be some difficult emotions that come up either for you or for those around you. Call on your connection to the divine to fill you and show you, light up the way for you to move forward. Because sometimes those of us who are sensitive, we feel everything for our family and everyone around us, and so we get caught in their dark emotional energy. And so that's when we need to look inward and look upward, is how I'm seeing it for you, because you have this connection to pray or to ask in an upward energy, and you tend to call in the divine basically from above. So shine your light upon me so that I may provide light and guidance and healing for those in the dark waters around me. All right. Genevieve. So yours is a soul card, and the soul card is number 17, and this is the journey. So in the journey, there's sort of a cave of darkness and a cave of light. And on the one hand, he's got the torch to light the way, and the other is the way is lit, right? So what I'm hearing for you is that this is a time of introspection for you, to journey into the depths of your soul. And so as you do that, looking for the parts of you that are in alignment with your truth, with yourself, with your spiritual being, but also journeying into the places where you maybe haven't gone because they feel dark. A lot of people are worried about going into those dark places because it could be bad. But really, the divine is giving you a torch to light the way, so you can bring out of the darkness any parts of you that you haven't owned. There's times when we don't let our artist come out, and so they're hiding in there, and we pretend they don't exist or that we're bad at that. And so maybe you go into the cavern and you find your artist and you invite them to come out and become part of the light aspect of who you are. Or maybe you go in and you pull out your entrepreneur, because there are a lot of, tyrant entrepreneurs out there who cast a bad shadow. So then we're afraid to become like them, except we won't. When we call that energy out of our shadow and we bring it into the light, it's time for us to create our new business, our new goals, our new life. So don't be afraid of aspects of you that have been hidden. One of the ways to do the journey is to look at things that you loved to do as a child that you no longer do. And who told you to stop doing them? And how can you bring that out? Many times we lose parts of our inner child in the darkness because we had to grow up too soon or too fast. So maybe our inner child would like to play with bubbles, or would like to color or play with Play-Doh, or go to the arcade and play some games. Because if we don't have our child fully out in the light, we can't have pure joy either. So this is the time to look inward and find those aspects of your soul that you have denied access to the light. Good for all of us. All right, Lisa. Of course. So your card is the 3 of air. Can you see that there's a book, almost like a book of spells? There's a number of books on the table, a couple that are open. There's a skull. Doesn't have to be bad. Sometimes people worry if they see skulls. There's also a beautiful dragon mask and an owl too. I don't know if those were very visible. But so the 3 of air is calling on you to reach inside and create your own magic. You have a lot of wisdom, you have a lot of ideas, and you have a lot of access to others who have paved the way before you. This is inviting you to look at that and find what works for you. Look through all the knowledge you've accumulated. So again, maybe look deep inside and see how can you use what you already know to create some new magic in your life. And it doesn't have to be a spell or a potion. It's the idea of how do you activate it. Maybe it's an affirmation. It's the my team keeps calling it magnetization. Manifestation. So when you become the magnet for something beautiful to come into your life, that can be magic. So how do you set that intention? How do you set that focus? What would you like to create? And now it's time to create it. So the energy is here for you to figure out the way to do that and start to implement a course of action. And in that course of action, let the magic fill you and move through you to create some beautiful new things. All right. Abby, of course. So, Abby, your card is the 3 of earth. And look at, he's sharing his acorns with the beautiful squirrel who needs them. Right? So the 3 of earth is that place where you feel really grounded and you feel really centered in comfortable in who you are. And so sometimes when we're in that place, it's good for us to help those who feel smaller, who feel less certain, and we help feed their soul. We give them acorns to help them grow into beautiful trees, give them something to feed who they are. So what I'm feeling is that, you know, you're in a really good place and that you have some mates that maybe aren't. And so though they could use some boosting of their self-esteem and their self-worth. And because you already are there, you hold a leadership role in helping them find that within themselves. And not by doing it for them or protecting them, but by feeding them little nuggets of little self-esteem nuggets. You know, we all need those, right? When you tell somebody, wow, you look nice, or, you know, that report was brilliant that you gave. So doing that for others to help fill who they feel they are so that they don't feel small. It's like there's people around you who feel small, like they're holding their energy in, they're blocking their heart, like they're holding their books in front of their heart to protect themselves. You get to champion and help them come out of their shell and be who they are. So thank you for that. All right, so the last card is for Neshi, because she always gets one as my co-pilot. So of course, Queen of Water, my dear. So being in that beautiful intuitive space, connecting to all of the emotions, using them all to guide you. You do this with brilliance, and leading from a place of nurturing, love, and acceptance. That's what's on tap for you this week, and it's usually on tap for you every week. So thank you for being that for us. So thank you for everybody who stuck to it through the entire show. I appreciate you. And, you know, if there's somebody out there who maybe could use some of these messages of healing and inspiration, please like and share this, and get it out to those in need, because there are a lot of us who needed healing on the planet this evening, especially for the meditation at the beginning. And with that, I will see you guys next week on Chakra Sessions at noon on Tuesdays, Eastern Standard Time. And I'll be back here for Soul Connections on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to do healing and guided readings. And again, if you want to do some deeper work, feel free to join me at Star Nations Academy, October 11th through the 13th in Tomo, Wisconsin. We have a couple spaces left. So who's going to be there and move their soul to the next level? Could it be you? I hope so. With that, I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.